Folk jewelry is one of the most important types of the Kazakh applied art. The history of this art dates back many centuries. Even in the 11th millennium before Christ, tribes who inhabited the territory of Kazakhstan had developed mining and metallurgy, produced tools for household purposes, and also they created jewelry in the technique of embossment, stamping, and engraving. Its highest peak, the jewelry art, reached during epoch of the Scythians, the Wusun, and the Huns. The metal processing had been growing during next periods as well, which was facilitated by the abundance of natural resources in Earth's crust, as well as by the development of cities in the southern regions of Kazakhstan, which were centers of trade and craft on the road of the Silkway. The history of jewelry is long and endured a difficult path of development, experiencing periods of decline, stagnation, and revival. Jewelry items made of silver with inserts of ornamental stones, as well as of bronze, copper with silvering, occupied a significant place in the culture of the Kazakh nation. Jewelry making requires special talent and education. Skills like master's tools were inherited. Though Kazakh artisans didn't create workshops, in the cities of the South Kazakhstan, located along the Silkway, and in other certain areas, there were groups of zirgers, each of whom worked independently and alone. By the way, Kazakh jewelry artisans are called zirger, which originate from Persian word zerzar, which means gold. Metal artisans owned specially equipped place named Cheberkhana, which had a lean-to construction. In summertime, during moving, artisans worked near the house under the tent. Zirgers mostly produced women's jewelry. Men wore only signet rings, pendants, hygiene things, and belts. The presence of jewelry in women's attire, the amount, material, composition, and the artistic level of creation were determined by both aesthetic sense and spiritual beliefs of the Kazakh nation. Women's jewelry indicated age, property, and territorial differences, as well as performed ceremonial, magical religious functions. According to Kazakh courtesy, it was improper for a girl or woman not to wear jewelry, since its absence symbolized mourning. The first items, like bracelet made of black and white beads, amulets in the form of owl stallion in a silver collet, triangular amulets with surah from Quran, parents put on a child of any gender in order to protect the child from diseases and secure his life. At the age of 4, girls had their ears pierced and wore little earrings. Sometimes parents pierced their sons' ears as well, if the child was long hoped for. This act was believed would fool evil spirits, since they were considered to be indifferent to girls. As the girl grew older, she wore more jewelry and its forms became more complex. When the girl reached the age to be a bride, she had a full set of jewelry: earrings, temple pendants, braid pendants, necklace, fasteners for jacket, rings, bracelet, and brooch. All these items, giving an artistic completeness to the costume, set off the graceful gait of the girl with their swaying, melodious ringing and silvery shine. Jewelry reflected property differences. Adornments of girls from wealthy families were distinguished by the complexity of the artistic design and solidity of style, because the jeweler was ordered the entire set at once. Jewelry of less well-off population were different in style, as their set of items enlarged gradually at different occasions. Poor people's jewelry was made of beeline or copper. Instead of beads were used seed beads. The richness of daughters' jewelry, as well as the decoration of horse equipment, was a matter of honor and dignity of each Kazakh, so they tried to spare no material resources for it. A girl became bride after matchmaking, which was symbolically marked through the ceremony Okotaru, during which groom's side presented gifts in a saddlebag named Khojan. Inside the saddlebag there were all sorts of gifts like fabric, sweets, and other things. All these were presented to the bride's relatives. The bride herself was gifted earrings, beads, and a tuft of old feathers to put on a headdress saukile. Groom's mother was gifted a large ring with 2 shanks, which was the symbol of 2 families' union. At the wedding, the bride wore all her jewelry. Also, the wedding dress includes ornaments with symbols of fertility, fastenings in the form of fish, decorative buttons for jacket, tubular amulets, adornments with pendant in the form of seeds. The bride's jewelry was designed to protect her from the evil eye and malicious gossip, and at the same time they had to impress people with its brilliance and beauty. The amount and the weight of adornments hardly let the bride stay on the ground, so she was held on both sides by the older daughters-in-law. This tradition still remains. Kazakh women always had to wear rings, otherwise food cooked by her would be considered unclean or touched by the evil spirits. According to tradition, all jewelry was removed from the deceased, except for earrings, which according to the worldview of Kazakh people would prevent entering snakes into the ears. In general, Kazakh jewelry is distinguished by a wide variety of categories, types and subtypes. Along with that, adornments are classified into technical and decorative groups and classes, characterized by solidity of style and territorial distribution. Jewelry of West Kazakhstan represents unique style and originality. Special features are largeness of geometrical forms and thickness, completeness of the image. The jewelry of this group does not break the integrity of item at any close-up view. Brass ornaments were designed to cover the whole part of body. Rings covered wrists. The decor was made using a combined embossing method, which gives a clear outline to a low relief pattern. Precious and semi-precious stones highlighted nobility of the metal. Rubies, sapphires, emeralds, corals, turquoise. Carnelian was the most favorite stone of Dirgers due to its healing and protective properties, and because Prophet Muhammad wore this gemstone. The most popular patterns were granular triangle, rhombus, ellipse, stars, zigzag, and other geometrical elements. Adornments made in North Kazakhstan were distinguished by the amount of forms, shape elongation, the abundance of pendants, which gave the jewelry of this area a peculiar magnificence. Artisans of the northern Kazakhstan used techniques like open-work filigree, granulation, and niello. In jewelry of this region were used plenty of pendants in the form of coins. In central and eastern Kazakhstan, there is a dominance of jewelry, which were crafted in embossment and engraving techniques. The expressiveness of jewelry was achieved due to the complex design of the ornaments and compactness of forms. The South Kazakhstan is distinguished by carving technique, blue enamel, and polychrome, which is the practice of decorating jewelry in a variety of colors. In contrast to jewelry of the northern Kazakhstan, adornments of the southern Kazakhstan are characterized by richness of colors. The polychrome is the main feature of jewelry in this region. As it can be understood, Jewelry art itself, zirgers, and each item had significant meaning and symbolism in the Kazakh culture. The main function of adornments was its protective power. Thus, people decorated children's cradles and beds with amulets in the form of old talon or koyak. Such amulet was hung on a wall carpet to skiers so it would protect the house. The ring in the form of bird's beak, tumsuk, was usually gifted to a man who was going to a military campaign so that he would return to his native place safe and sound. Special attention needs to be paid to the breast jewel, named tumsuk, which usually was designed in 2 or 3 branches. This jewel was worn by married women and was meant to protect their maternal milk and breast. Shashbao, decoration for plates, sholpa, temple pendants. These jewels enhanced the length and thickness of hair. The adornments would produce a melodious sound during walk which emphasized the graciousness and good manners of a girl. Additionally, it was believed to protect girls from the evil spirits. Bracelets were designed in different styles and delicately emphasized the beauty of hand. It should be noted that the main material for creating such works of art was silver. As a shimmering hue, the color silver and the metal silver were linked to the moon, and Kazakh jewelers used silver because it is an easily workable and malleable metal, and additionally, people knew about its therapeutic properties. Decorative applied art represents the worldview of Kazakh people, and jewelry art is one of the best ways to gain information about the culture of the nation, its values and lifestyle. From this short video you can understand that the history of jewelry art of the Kazakhstan dates back many centuries. It contains sacred wisdom of elder generation, preserves its own cultural features and meaning. Nowadays, Kazakh people are more interested in traditional jewelry, which marks another period of development in the history of the art. The focus on cultural diversity, reflecting the revival and augmentation of the national heritage as well as the dynamics of modernization processes, defines modern trends in the development of jewelry and decorative and applied art of Kazakhstan. This strategy allows us to preserve the ethnic identity as well as to actively participate in the development of global art, making the values of the Kazakh nation the heritage of mankind.